Ooh, good
Okay.
memory.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to our um, August Missouri Childhood Community Leaders meeting, stakeholder meeting. I'm glad you're here. And we are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Christy Roberts. I'm one of your community leaders for the St. Louis region. And Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa Grinning, also the co-leader with Christy and Leah Moser with Turn the Page STL.
Hey, awesome. And so here's our agenda for today. We're jumping right into it because we know your time is precious. So here's what we are going to, an overview of what we're going to do today. We've got the new statewide community leader vision and the goals that we want to share with you today, as well as let you know that moving forward, we are going to refer to this group as the community leader stakeholder group instead of before we were the leadership task force. And that's just a language change we've been asked to do for consistency across the state, across the regions. Their group like this are all called community leader stakeholders. So that's who you are, but that doesn't change what we do together. Just wanted to let you know that that's how we'll be referring to ourselves moving forward. The flow of our meetings, we're going to try to stay pretty consistent throughout the year. And so we're going to have that standing agenda item at the beginning of the meeting where we want to hear all of your voices in the introduction section, your work, an opportunity to share about your organization. And that is going to take some time, but we feel like it's a really critical piece to our meeting together. And that's to support each other, allow for that collaboration between us, and ensure that the content and the discussion we plan and prepare for these meetings remains relevant. So today we're going to have Amanda Linsky. She's volunteered to share with us about Missouri's Parent Training and Information Center impact. And then we're going to finish up with sharing with you the community leader plan for 2024, 2025, and some discussion around our goals. So thanks for being here. Remember that we are recording this meeting. So for those that could not meet with us live, we'll have it in the Google Drive that we have available for you.
Thank you, Christy. So to get our introductions kicked off, we wanted to have some baseline just information for everyone. And first by sharing Missouri's Childhood Community Leaders, which is an initiative of everyone to understand out of the Office of Childhood with the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. We represent one region, the St. Louis region. There are 7 total regions.
I know we talked.
Hey, Adrian. And this summer, we all came together, the 7 regions, about what is childhood and what is our vision statement across the state. This work, by the way, is contracted to United for Children across the state. So they are our organizers for all of this work across the state. So our vision statement means to be simple and empowered families and connected communities, period. Our goals for the state here with the Office of Childhood as community leaders are to connect stakeholders to applicable statewide programs and supports. You are our stakeholders. You also have other stakeholders in your community. So what we learn and here in these meetings, we're hoping that you will then continue to send out. And also identify, engage, and build strong relationships with relevant stakeholders. Everything in this world happens correctly when we have strong, positive relationships with each other. And so we need to build and strengthen those relationships. Right, now I gotta look at my notes. So one of the questions that came out of this, and Christy, jump in if you need to, was we need to know if we have permission to share our roster of you. You are stakeholders. Christy, maybe you can explain that a little bit better. I just want to make sure I'm saying that right.
Yeah, so in sharing what we share with you through that Google link and in that drive, of course, is a roster of who comes here for these meetings. And so we just wanted to make sure that that you're comfortable with sharing your contact information with the rest of these stakeholders so that they can go into that Google Drive, and perhaps if they have something that they want to advertise, they can grab your contact information and use it to share. So that it kind of aligns with one of our goals, but it's one of the goals that you all would be controlling. It wouldn't be if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
we just wanted to make
perfectly,
sure that
Christy.
that's cool. Yeah.
If you would not like your contact information available for all of the people here on this community leaders call, please email me or Christy, or you can put it in the chat and we will make sure that there's no contact information shared with others. But we're hoping that everybody can. And next slide, I just wanted everybody to see who you are. Who are the St. Louis Region Community Leader stakeholders? If for any reason I have misspelled any name, I need to know that moving forward. But I want to show that it's childcare centers, but it's also school districts, which is very important. It's alliances, it's health, it's babies. I'm looking at nurses for newborns. It's children with special needs, St. Louis ARC, St. Louis Area First Steps. It's coaching, like STAR coaching, United for Children. And it's advocacy work too. And I'm looking at We Power and Kids Win Missouri. Everybody here is intentionally invited, and with the hopes that we can start building these trusting relationships to ensure all of our children, birth through age 5, some say 8, are thriving in our community and connected. Next slide. All right, so this is your time. This is the bulk of our meeting today. We want to welcome everyone. I think, Christy, what we'll do is I'll let you call on people. Is that cool? Yeah, I'm throwing it. Your name and your organization, what your vision is, and there's a lot of people on this call, guys. There's 28 people. If we can do this in 20 minutes, that would be great. What is your vision for childhood succinctly in a sentence? And Christy's laughing because this is a lot. And your thoughts about how this group can work and support you. If we, for some reason, don't get to you, please put all of that in the chat because we will be recording everything.
I'm laughing because did you say I'm going to call on people?
Yeah.
I'm not going to call on people. Actually, what I'm going to do is just invite you to introduce yourself. If you're not comfortable with the floor, please just put it in the chat because I don't want to call on anybody that might not be
That's true.
in a place or position to speak. So feel free to volunteer who'd like to go first in introducing yourself.
I'll go first. Hello?
Go ahead, Howard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, so I'm Howard Smith. I am with Benchmark Human Services. So it's a contractor for Missouri First Steps in the St. Louis area. So we cover St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County for the Birth to 3 Early Intervention Program. Our vision, just in a nutshell, is we are building family capacity to be to continue to be the best teachers for their children. So children who are referred to our program Birth to 3, we have a coaching model that we coach those parents and caregivers to support their children in their natural environment. this group, I've been part of this group for a while, and I think, support that, for us would be just continued collaboration with a variety of different people and programs and agencies who are here. And then just learning about resources for our families, the ones who are in our program, and the ones who don't qualify for us. Just having a well-rounded view of what's out there in the community that we can help connect our families to, and how we can support, those other programs as well.
Fantastic.
I think Belanle was gonna go next.
Yes, I was. Thank you. My name is Belanle Ambonije with UNI Rise Adult Education and Training. Our foundation is parenting education, but we also have branched out into school staff training. Our vision is to make a case for society to invest in parenting education, to improve social determinants of health, just in families and communities in general, and to reduce the instances of adverse childhood experiences. And in so doing, it will ripple into the rest of society and our schools and businesses and all of that. And so the way this group can support is to connect me with government funders, with other institutional funders who see value in those things, in reducing adverse childhood experiences and improving social determinants of health for whole neighborhoods and communities.
Fantastic. Next person.
Or if you'd like to put it in the chat. I'm seeing a lot in the chat. Thank you.
I
So,
thought,
good afternoon, I can go.
wonderful.
Yep, so multitasking right now. But my name is Barb Davis. I oversee our College Kids Savings Account program. We are 9 years old this year. We have 24,000 kids enrolled. This is our first year with high school kiddos. Our vision of our organization is to make sure we have well-informed students that will turn into adults that can make great financial decisions for themselves. Through our program, we help them save for college. So I have one student that has $16,000 already saved for college, and she's a 9th grader. So our job is basically to help with the impact of learning the basics of financial education. So budgeting, saving, credit, money management. We have activities and events to help them grow their accounts. And then we also help the parents and the educators. So the ways that who's ever on this call can help us. If you're in the early learning space or you're in schools, because we service about 80 different schools throughout the city. We want educators to not have to worry about finances. So we have resources available to them that are free. We want to make sure that they have alternative lending sources rather than going to predatory lenders and paying 300% on a $1,000 loan. So I am a one-person team. We are hiring. So if you know someone that has some financial education background and some community social work type experience, that will be greatly helpful for me. But yes, that's what we do in a nutshell. We're in City Hall. So you can always call me, follow us on social media platforms, or visit us if you like.
And Barb, thank you. We're looking forward. You'll be presenting at our next meeting too, which we're thrilled about.
Okay.
I was going to ask
Yeah.
for their information in the
Aren't we?
chat.
Yes, I can put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. But if you're going to
Yes,
present,
and if you, by the way, just before the next person, if you could put your vision and how we can support you in the chat, even if you verbally said it, that would be appreciated. I'm writing everything down, but I don't want anything that you said I'd love it straight from you, written down.
Absolutely.
Next.
I'll go next. I'm Joanne Suda. I am currently sitting on the Special School District of St. Louis County School Board. Before that, I spent 9 years on the U City School Board. Before that, I spent 29 years as a kindergarten teacher. So I come with a really robust early childhood experience background. I'm working with a group of board members. We are interested in establishing pre-kindergarten throughout the county. For all children. Our vision is to really eliminate waiting lists and to have high quality pre-kindergarten for all children in St. Louis County in particular, because that's where our model fits. But obviously we'd like to scale that throughout the entire state.
So I'm sorry, Joanne, you're with Special School District now
I
as a
am.
board member. And
Correct.
is this the work that Larry is also working on?
Yes, Larry and I are part of a coalition of school board members from across St. Louis County who are working on an early childhood expansion through the public schools.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I can be supported. We can be supported by bringing all perspectives to the table as we continue to build out our model. And links to research and so forth. We're looking for numbers, access to numbers and research.
Wonderful. I did not know this group was shy.
Hi, it's Rochelle,
All right, Rochelle, I know you're not shy.
and I am extremely shy. However, I'm representing Beginning Futures. We service children birth through 13 years of age. However, we have a special focus on children birth through 5 years old as we prepare them for kindergarten readiness. We are now doing some additional work throughout our community, assisting other programs with ensuring that they have the needs, ensuring that they have support, because not all early childhood programs get additional funding. So we've been lucky enough to secure funding through the Mental Health Board, Opportunity Trust, and a few other organizations to support programs with making sure that their students are prepared for kindergarten readiness, or have kindergarten readiness skills. I'm sorry, guys, I am a little nervous. We are able to make sure that they have mental health services. We're coaching educators to make sure that they have the resources that they need. And how you all can continue to support us is having meetings like this to provide resources so that we can share with programs that don't necessarily have the time, the resources, or the capacity to attend meetings like this.
Thank you, Rochelle.
You're
Agree.
welcome.
And you know what? You guys know that Rochelle won the 2024 Early Educators Appreciation Event Director of the Year and stood in front of 220 people. And so, no, I don't think of you as shy. I think of you as inspiring.
Why, thank you. And opportunities like me help me build so that I can become stronger in my presentation. So thank you for asking us to speak up.
Anyone else?
I'll go.
I
Sorry.
Go ahead, Dana, first.
Okay.
And then we'll.
My name is Dana Walker. I'm the Director of Bell Children's Services of St. Louis ARC. We have 3 core programs in children's services. Our first program is the Embedded Early Learning Program. So we are embedded in 24 early childhood centers. And we have early learning specialists that go to those centers weekly. They do developmental assessments on all of the kids that are 6 weeks to 5.5 years old. Any of those kids that are below their developmental level, the early learning specialist creates an action plan, individualized action plan for them. And they work with them one-on-one each week until they master those goals to make sure that they're kindergarten ready. We also have a language groups, music groups, and occupational therapy groups in our centers to help those kids that need a little bit of extra support. We also have a child and family therapist that provides individual as well as child and family therapy as well. And then we also have our Capable Kids and Families program that is for kids that have a developmental delay or disability. That's a home visiting program where our family resource specialists go and do monthly home visits. It also has a lending library component of specialized equipment. So parents are able to pick out equipment with their OT, PT, or speech, and they're able to use it for as long as they need it. And then we also have our Parents Learning Together program. That's at Delmar Divine. That's a program where the parents have the developmental disability or delay, and they're part of a parenting home visiting program. So they get about 4 to 6 hours a week for a home visit. And then they also come together on Wednesdays and Fridays for group sessions to learn together. So for this group, it's just kind of for us spreading our word about our programs, and if there's a specific need in a specific region, we're just kind of wanting to broaden our reach across St. Louis. So yeah, if you guys know of any daycares or any individuals that would be benefit from any of our programs, please reach out and let me know.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We used to call you Slark.
Yes.
Get it? I always thought that was funny. St. Louis ARC, right?
Yes,
Slark.
all together.
Phenomenal program. Anyone else? Oh, wait. Yes.
I can go.
Yeah.
My name is Alyssa Michelle. I work for Hilltop Child Development Center. I'm their program supervisor. We are a program of Lutheran Family and Children Services. We work on providing quality child care that offer wraparound service for both children and families. We do medical, mental health, parenting, home visitation. We are partnership with the Urban League Head Start for our children 3 to 5, and then Youth in Need for our children 6 weeks to 3 years old. I use this group as a form of building relationships with other organizations and kind of sharing resources.
Wonderful. Thank you. I know this teacher wait. And thank you all for putting the information in the chat.
I can go.
Chris-
Hey, everyone.
Oh, hey, Laura.
Hey, I'm Laura Pollock. I'm with the St. Louis County Library. Our vision is really to provide resources and services to support whatever people want to do with their lives. But in relation to early childhood, we're specifically thinking about supporting caregivers and parents in their parenting journey, and then also preparing children for being able to read when they enter school and kindergarten readiness. With this group, I think that we are just looking for what you all are doing and what is happening in the early childhood ecosystem that the library can support with our different services. And that's it.
If you have information, Laura, about your upcoming big event in Ferguson, the name just went out of my head.
It's the Little Readers Festival. And
the
yes,
Little Readers Festival. Please share it, because that might be something that a lot of you want to take the children that you serve or work with, or families to.
yes.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
It's
please
really
come join us. We're going to have lots of different vendors coming out. We also have several of the area museums like the History Museum, the Science Center, Botanical Gardens coming out doing activities this year. And each child who comes gets at least one free book. Actually, they get at least 2 free books. So there's multiple books that they can get as well. Okay.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that about the free books?
Sorry. So we have a Little Readers Festival. It is at the Florissant Valley branch of the St. Louis County Library on Saturday, September 28th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll drop a link to it in the chat. But the festival is kind of an early literacy event for families with children ages 0 to 5. There are different vendors who are providing services and like information about their programs, different activities that kids can do. And everyone gets a free book from the library. Ready Readers also brings books. And we do have St. Louis Black Authors of Children's Literature coming. They have brought books in the past. I believe they will have them as well this year. We also have a musician coming, and we do story times as well during the program. So it's just kind of a festival for celebrating literacy.
Is that the location by where they built the really nice swimming pool?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I would love that information so I can share that.
Yes, I will absolutely drop that in the chat, and please do share. We appreciate it.
Wonderful. Well, for others, please put in your organization, your vision, and how you see this group supporting your work. I appreciate all those that put that in the chat. And before we have our presentation, also note that if you would like to present 10 minutes to this group formally, like Amanda is about to do, reach out to Christy or me, and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, because do you see my slide again, Lisa?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, because this is, I mean, we're thrilled that you're able to even in our introductions give a little bit of a way for us to collaborate together. But I wanted to introduce our first presenter in our new format of how these meetings are going to go, and this is Amanda Linsky, and she's going to speak about impact. But the great thing about what she's going to speak about is it hits two of our priority topics that we really wanted to speak to, and that's not only supporting families with special needs, but transitioning supports for children entering kindergarten. And Amanda has, let us know how Impact does that. So I'm going to be quiet now and let her go ahead and present to us today. Amanda?
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Lisa, too, for the opportunity. Hello, everybody. I am Amanda Linsky. I am one of the regional coordinators for Impact, which is Missouri Parents Act in the greater St. Louis area. So Missouri Impact is across the entire state of Missouri. We are funded through grants through DESE and the federal government. We are Missouri's only parent information and training center. IDEA states, as I'm sure some of you know, that every state has to have at least one parent information and training center, and we have been Missouri's for over 20 years. And so I'm here to just tell you what we do and how we can be a resource to help you support your families and little kiddos that you all are working with. But Impact also does serve children from birth all the way through ages 26. So everything from early childhood, transitioning to Part B, all the way up to transitioning to post-secondary and those transitional skills that the older kids will need. So our mission is simple. It's to empower families to advocate for themselves so that children with special education needs can reach their full potential and education in life. And we do this through support, training, and education. So we offer several different supports. We offer workshops and trainings to parents. We offer workshops and trainings to school districts. We offer workshops and trainings to schools on a variety of topics, whether it's the art of effective advocacy for parents, writing post-transition secondary goals, how to write effective IEP goals, transitioning from Part C to Part B. We have workshops for districts on dyslexia, ADHD. So we run the gamut, and I want to just point out all of our services are provided at no cost to any parent, stakeholder, or group. We also provide direct one-on-one support to families. So I had a parent today call and said, help, in my child's FSP, they changed this. Can you come to the meeting? I have families who are not understanding sometimes the process of transitioning from C to B. And we provide them with information. We prep them for the meeting. We do a lot of training with parents because we at Impact are not advocates, but we help parents advocate for their children because we believe the best advocate for any child is their parent, since they are the most knowledgeable about their child and what they need. We are more than happy to go to the meetings and to support them and provide that support there because, you know, sometimes those meetings can be scary when the parent is one with 20 other people from the district or service providers sitting there. So we do that too. Just side note, we have to say we are not a legal service. So some parents will call and say, what do you think I should do? Should I take this legal action? And we do provide them with resources for pro bono legal work, but Impact is not a legal agency and cannot give legal advice. And so this is just what parent centers like Impact do. You can take a look at that. I don't want to spend the precious 10 minutes, but better understand their children's disabilities and education needs, how they can communicate more effectively with schools and related professionals, understand their rights and responsibilities under IDEA, obtain appropriate services for their children, help them to resolve disagreements with the school and other agencies, and we work to connect other community resources to assist that child and family. So what I love about this group is there are 30 people that would take me hours of Googling and researching and like looking on Facebook to find 30 groups that are here that are doing the same and or serving the same like needs and age group. And again, it's a lot of parent training. And I do want to point out, we are not, again, like I said, advocates, but we are there to help really keep the school parent relationship intact as much as possible. Because if that relationship remains intact and can remain working and effective, the child benefits the most. And I say this as a parent with special education needs. I was a teacher for 10 years. I know that can be difficult for all the players at the table. And so we're really there to help keep that relationship intact by also providing lowest level resolution options. Because, you know, we listen to parents, they come in, sometimes they come in hot, and I get it. I've come in hot to other people, and we let them be heard. And then we say, okay, let's unpack it. Let's go through it. Let's educate, support you on your options. And a lot of times parents are like, oh, I didn't know we could try this first before jumping to this. So again, keeping that school parent relationship intact. And then again, Impact is committed to reaching all families and professionals in Missouri, regardless of cultural and racial backgrounds. We have a multicultural coordinator. We have a regional coordinator who is bilingual. And if we don't have it, we'll find somebody to support that family. We're never going to say, nope, can't help you. So we serve, again, all families, especially those who have been traditionally overlooked or unfortunately marginalized. And so, again, what we have topics, just a small smattering, we have more, but again, special education law, effective communication, parent leadership, transition, dispute resolution. Again, those are just some of the topics we do trainings on and support parents and other stakeholders in. And then what we do with school districts, again, we don't want to be seen as advocates, and there's nothing wrong. I was an advocate for years with FACT in St. Charles, and it's a great organization, but the missions are completely different. We are training the parents to be the advocates, to find their voice for themselves and their children. And again, lowest resolution, really working with that. And then the professional trainings for the school districts. This is our contact information, and we offer each month online virtually workshops that are open to all community members. All you have to do is go on our website, go under trainings, and it will list the calendar, the dates right there. You can register and do those. We offer certificates of completion. If you're like, I need this for professional development, do you provide certification? We do that too. And so this is just an example of, I took some of the slides from our workshop from part C to part B, transitioning your little ones from part C to part B. So this would be some of the training objectives we would go over, for example, with the parents. And a lot of them know that. Some of them, the diagnosis comes late and the child, is about to age out from about 3 or 5. And so they're trying to play catch up. So we're doing that. So again, or if someone's like, I need a refresher, or did the law update and change again? So we keep ours current so we can keep everybody that we're working with current. And these are some of the things: birth to third birthday, first steps, IFSP. We are family and child focused, being in the part C. When we're dealing with parents in part C, the service is being provided in a natural environment, working on those daily routines of the family, getting parents informed about all of this that is under part C. We give them handouts with timelines, and we just don't say, oh, here's the time, here's the timeline, but saying, hey, let's go back. When was the child first referred? And the parents like, oh, I need to get a notebook. Yes, you do. And it's those little things sometimes that I think makes parents' lives easier, that once you're in the special education process, you learn it and you're like, I wish I had known that from the get-go. So we go over timelines with them, getting them a notebook. Like I always tell parents, buy a cheap planner. It doesn't matter what the year, what if it looks like all nice, and just write down sent letter this day and use it just for that. So then you can count 60 days out or 90 days out. But example of things we do and the training in the workshop. And then last year, Impact was in the first cohort for the DAISY Center, which is a data collection system, which is part of the Center for IDEA, Early Childhood Data Systems. And we train parents, community stakeholders, anybody who'd like to be a family data leader. And what that is looking at data in your community for programs or early childhood programs to gauge the effectiveness of those programs, and also to looking at data really first to gauge where the needs are. What is data? Where do we pull that data from? How do we look at data, analyze it, and then how do we use that to identify needs, identify effectiveness of programs? And it is originally, it was rolled out last year as a 4-part series. We at Impact right now are taking that 4 sessions and whittling it down to a 1 session, 2 hours. So, and we will be presenting that either later this fall or early in the beginning of next year. And we will have more information on when you can register for it. When we did do it last year, it was well received. These are the session overviews. So what it means to be a family data leader. Increasing the participants' knowledge of early intervention, part C, and preschool education, part B, 619, but where you're pulling that data from, state indicators, using that data to advance equity, like in session 2. Listen, we see this group is doing really well. We pulled this data, looked at it for early childhood, and we're seeing, when they transfer from C to B or just in C, this group is not doing well. Let's look at that and pull data further. This could be a need in our community or in this group. And it's, like I said, it's a great program. It was rolled out, I think, in 13 areas last year. And so we got to be one of them. And then these are the learning objectives for the overall series for being a family data leader.
Thank you, Amanda. You're getting some questions in the chat because it sounds like, hey, maybe our stakeholders have heard of Impact, but don't really know how they interact with the other people on in this meeting. So not sure if you're seeing some of these questions, but I know special school district, you all have, I mean, so I used to be with Impact, and I remember doing monthly trainings at special school district for parents. Do they still have that?
We have not done that. I think, but I can not think. I don't want to speak for special school districts. I know Impact would like to do that. Again, I've been with them for about 1.5 years, and when I came on, they were not doing that. But yeah, I mean, we would love to get in schools because it also, I think, takes away that scariness that, oh, Impact is coming to the parent meeting. We know each other. We know we're all on the same page, and it's just there to facilitate the meeting to keep it, again, lowest resolution possible.
Yeah, because that was back in 2010, so I was wondering if they were still doing that. But, it's a great way for school districts to make Impact part of what they do, not an extra somebody coming in to the IP meeting and feeling kind of like, oh, Impact is here. You know what I mean? It was more like infusing it into what we provide for families that do special education.
Yes,
service.
we are Switzerland. We're neutral.
Right. Any questions for Amanda?
Well, and the other one was, does Impact interact with parents as teachers?
Yes. And I had actually a meeting this summer with the Francis Howell Parent as Teachers, and I said, if there is something that you are finding your families are coming to you over and over with a certain same kind of issue, or if you say, hey, they really don't know about this when they're entering first steps, or we see families could use support with this, whatever the trend may be, even if with your staff, you can reach out to us and say, hey, can you come and do this? And it doesn't have to be a huge training. If you have, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 moms or dads and saying, this is an issue, or we wish we had more knowledge about that, we are more than happy to do that, even 3 or 4 people, and doing that training with them.
Wonderful. And the other question, I believe, is about the last part of your discussion is about the vendor. Who is, and Larry, it's Joanne. You can jump off and ask your question about the vendor.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I had a vendor question. There was
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Larry.
But I did want to know how I can reach Amanda and explore a connection between SSD and Impact. I'm on the SSD school board.
I will put my work cell in the chat right now.
Okay. And I'll follow up with SSD and I'll see if we can make a connection.
Yeah, we would love that. So I put that in there too, and I will put I'll put my email too. I don't know why all of a sudden I was like, ooh.
Thanks.
And Larry, do you want to ask your question?
Well, I'm about knee deep into DESI data. I've been doing that for about 10 years, and I'm really I'm having a cold. Sorry. My main interest is how all these things tie together, because what you're describing with Impact is terrific, and I wonder how that matches up with data that DESI tracks, some information that some other organizations might have. How do we bash that together to see what we've got?
That would, I think, be a question I could ask, or I can get you my leadership's information, because I do know my leadership team meets with DESI and their contact people once a month on a regular basis. So, last year we were seeing a certain trend us at the regional coordinators when as we were going into IEP meetings. And so that's data and information that they report back to DESE. Obviously too, though, with our grant, there are formal systems that they run the reports on Salesforce, that's our database that we use. And all of that is reported yearly to DESE, and then every I think, 3 or 5 years when the grant. So that would be something that leadership could tell you in an less formal manner. Like I said, they meet with DESE and give them information from us that we are seeing or encountering in schools and in districts around the state.
It's very possible you may have data at granularity that would really help them, maybe more than they can help you.
It's like I said, that would be above my pay grade, but I think, unless I know Natalie is on here from Impact 2. Natalie is multicultural coordinator and regional coordinator also in St. Louis. And unless I'm wrong, or she can tell me I'm right, but if I'm not right, she knows I like to be told I'm not. I believe that type of data information would be coming from our leadership team.
And Amanda, really quickly, can you, when you find out that information from your leadership, can you make sure that Christy or I have it so we can send it out to the whole group?
What information exactly? Like
how the data collection and how you guys are interacting, what Larry just asked.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will let my data, I will let my leadership team know, not my data team.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Amanda, so much. And again, these slides, all of this information is going to be located in the Google Drive, but also Lisa at the conclusion of this meeting, and when she gets the recording, sends out an email to everybody with the notes and the recording and everything. So you will have it. And just glad, can you see my slide again, Lisa? Oh my gosh. So these are the goals, again, statewide goals, but goals that we are, writing into our plan for the next contract year. And it has, I feel like we've done that in this meeting. We've not only, leveraged Amanda's expertise, but also making those connections happen between all of us so that we can have a cohesive message and that benefits our family and young children in the St. Louis area. So I am just super excited. The new community leader plan will find its way up on the Early Connection website pretty soon. So you'll be able to see that advertised. But here's some specific plan goals. Lisa, you want to tell us what we're really looking at with this plan?
Absolutely. So just like we had here with Amanda, we would love to have a monthly speaker that can present information to the network every month. So please reach out if you would like to present or you would like to learn about something that we can then bring to the table. We do have a Facebook group page, and many of you are members of it. I think actually most all of you are members of it, but we're hoping that we can inspire you to share information that you have much more on this. So it's not as much Christy and I going back and forth. And I think our last slide, we're going to be talking about how we can share this information, building relationships, but sharing this information across all of our platforms, our early childhood, public school, special school district, all of our different platforms simultaneously. If you would like to invite others to become a stakeholder, please do. The more the merrier. We identified you as our stakeholders in the St. Louis community, but just Christy and I, and some past work, we know we're missing people, and please invite them. And let's keep staying connected via Facebook, or if you have other ideas between our monthly meetings.
And I always want to kind of had this slide you guys have seen many times before, but ideally, you know, the information that we share in this group, hopefully they fall within these already identified priorities by this group. And so I would just want to kind of lead us into, you know, maybe a final discussion with the 5 minutes we have left of any ideas that you all have, whether you can put them in the chat or maybe you are willing to unmute and let us know. How can we increase that engagement on the Facebook page to be more reciprocal, not so one-sided? I mean, we're putting things up there that Office of Childhood is, you know, and things we're getting from other resources as far as funding goes and events. We're trying to keep it as relevant as possible, but we need your input as well. And also, how can we, I think all of these questions speak to how can we make that page more of a back and forth communication. And then, of course, we're already getting some volunteers in the chat of people that want to present in an upcoming monthly meeting. So thank you for that. We'll get in touch with you and schedule that. But let me just be quiet for a moment and see what kind of ideas you all have at making this communication web that we're attempting to make more reciprocal.
I like Howard's idea. Add snippets and videos from these meetings.
I just
like
want to make sure I'm clear about which group we're talking about. Are we talking about the Missouri Childhood Community Leaders South Central Region or the St. Louis Regional Community Leaders?
It is confusing. Oh my goodness. We are the St. Louis Region Childhood Community Leaders.
Okay, all right then.
So St. Louis, yeah, no Southwest.
You should
That's
see
a-
this little girl pointing to the arch. That's our cover
Okay.
photo.
There
I
you go.
found it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there's 7 different regions in Missouri that are doing this exact same work that we're doing here. And we are focused in the St. Louis region, which is St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County.
Can I suggest that you all put it on your story sometimes? Because by you post, Facebook is one thing, but if you post on your story, then you can see how many people had the opportunity to view it, etc. So it's not like we're not seeing it. I've just noticed that when I post more educational things, it's not that people don't see it, they just don't like it or comment on it. However, if I post more things on vacations and things, it gets more engagement. However, you can definitely track better on the story.
Thanks for that suggestion,
That's
Rochelle.
wonderful, Rochelle. Now this is a question. If Rochelle sends out something educational on the story Facebook page, can we then tag it to our Facebook page, our Missouri Community, our St. Louis Region Community Leader? I don't know.
I'm not really for sure because they changed it. Facebook has changed because beginning Futures used to post every day, then it can tag me. But they changed it where you can't, because I used to tag as many employees as possible
Right.
to share, but they changed it. So now we have to physically copy and paste and go back to our page and share. And this is a most recent change. But you can still post on that story.
Got it.
And it'll let you see how many people viewed it. So in that instance, you'll know that people are seeing it. They're just not commenting.
Right. That's what somebody just asked about story versus post. And that's what I'm confused about. You said
Do them both. Do them both.
We'll look into
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
It's
'cause
kinda
I'm
new to
right,
us,
I didn't
too,
know there
so-
were stories and posts.
Great idea. I know. Goodness.
I
need some more.
gotta, right.
need some-
Throw a few pictures of bikinis and bottles in there every now and then you can make sure
No,
that
no.
people are paying attention.
Lisa, that means you need to send me pictures from your recent vacation.
Nobody wants to see me in a bikini. Trust me on that one.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
That's
Well,
a sure way of us being, oh, don't want to see that again.
love it. Keep those suggestions coming. We love to hear from you all and how we can improve just our support of this area. I wanted to put up before when we leave that our next meeting, which is that third Wednesday of the month, September 18th. And our next presenter is going to be Angela Williams with the Mo 529 education plan. We are so excited to hear more about that. And of course, invite a friend to join the Facebook friends, invite a group, invite a friend to this meeting, and please let us know anything, your thoughts, questions, comments, let Lisa and I know. And we're creating, a way for you to support each other.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, Marcia.
Hey,
Go ahead.
so I'm a parent educator with Riverview Gardens School District, but I have found that, we have been doing a lot of dial 4 screenings and then having to refer parents to SSD for speech and for other things like that. I think that would be a great meeting to talk about how to soften that blow. Because a lot of parents, they don't want to hear it. And when they hear SSD, they're like, oh my God, my child is going to be in a room with other, like with special needs, like my child has special needs. And I think that's what I find with parents, that even if it's just for speech, I'm like, no, it's all under one umbrella. So that is just a need. So just maybe having someone
Huge.
present on that and just give us some ideas on how to say it, some pointers or some things, some sites where they can go to and look at it and read it, where they get more information about the process and about what SSD actually does.
I love that idea, Marcia. I distinctly remember my parent educator, I have children in their 20s now, saying to their father, your child has hearing delays. And he said, my child's perfect. Right? So
Right.
you heard that, right, Marcia? And so thank goodness he had a mother who kept going, but that is very common. I love that idea. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
All right.
And Marcia, it looks like Belanley went your contact information, but also Impact is a great connection. I mean, Impact can smooth that transition.
I know. That's why I asked for the slides. Like, I'm definitely going to give the parent, and even if we have them come for a group connection, I would love to set that up and just make it kind of fun and light, but just talk about the process and what to expect, because a lot of parents are scared. We're talking about their babies and they think their babies are perfect, and they are perfect. They just need a little bit more molding.
And the earlier, the better.
And
exactly. That's my thought. The earlier, the better.
And when I was talking to Christy and Lisa last week, I had told them not only do I currently work for Impact, that I taught special ed. I had dyslexia. I couldn't read in 3rd grade. I was the child at the IEP meeting. My son has an IEP. I've been the parent. I've been in every one of those roles. So that's why I say sometimes I just let my families go off because they just want to be heard first and foremost, because by the time a lot of times they reach us, they haven't been heard and they're frustrated. So we hear them and then we work with them. And and then parents will say, I'm sorry. And I tell them there is nothing more personal than your child and their education.
Exactly.
There is nothing. I don't care. It's my doctor's files. You can let them out on the internet with WikiLeaks, but that's not personal. What's personal the most is your child and their education. And we can be there even if they say, listen, I get it. I just need to rant and make sure I'm on the right track, or if they're following the process. There are times that I say, I'm happy to tell you the school is doing what they're supposed to. I can support you if there's trust issues, and that does help build trust again between the parent and the school. That having an outsider say, hey, yeah, they are doing what they're supposed to. They are following the process. And just being that person. So yeah, reach out to us because we do that. Like I said, we provide that type of support.
Okay, great. I definitely am. That's why I wanted the slides, because we need that. And a lot of the parents are receptive about completing the packet, but it's just that, they're like, oh my God, what does this mean? I mean, like my child is going to be labeled or something. So I think hearing it from somebody else might make it more understandable, even though we're breaking it down, but I don't know how to break it all the way down.
I say I have a really good ability to speak parent and speak special ed. And there are times in the meeting when the school and parent are saying the exact same thing, but just nobody's fault the way it's delivered. And I will say to the school sometimes, do you mind if I paraphrase what you're saying to mom? If I'm misinterpreting it or not correct, stop me, of course. And I've never yet been stopped. And I'll say, this is what they're saying. And there's a way, it's not the school's fault. It's not the educator's fault. It's just sometimes parent to parent, you know how to phrase it. And at the same time, I will turn to the mom and say the same thing and say, I'm going to paraphrase what you're saying to the school, because as an educator, let me try it in educator speak. And so, we do those things too and we go over evaluation reports. You tell most parents, oh, it's one standard deviation from the mean, and you might as well be telling them
what is that?
Right, what is that? Did you just say it in Latin? What is one standard deviation? It's 15. What's the mean? 100. I don't if I didn't have the training and my master's wasn't in special ed, I wouldn't know what one standard deviation from the mean meant. So we go over reports, so it's less scary, as Lisa was saying, when they get those diagnoses or those eligibility categories. It doesn't mean it's not upsetting, but it's less scary if someone's going over an eval report and saying, hey, it's 85 lower end, but we're still in the average, in these type of things.
Thanks,
I'm
Amanda.
gonna let Amanda and Marcia continue to talk offline, just because we're 7 minutes past.
I gotta go too.
I bet you guys are all so busy. Just know also that you're gonna get a new Zoom link from me for the September, October, November, and December meetings, because obviously something happened.
It would be really rude for us to continue to use the invalid link for our future meetings.
All right, ladies.
Joanne, did you have one more thing to say? Looked like you had one more thing.
I did, Christy. Thanks. I just want to say to Marcia, reach out to the SSD staff at Riverview Gardens too. They may have some advice for you too. There's lots of staff over there. There's some area coordinators.
Oh yeah, I met Michelle Obama, and I'm friends with all of them.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
I'm friends with all, but then a lot of times they're the people that are teaching the kids, so the parents don't want to hear it from them. So that's the other thing. I mean, they're very informative. But I will do that, invite everybody, so that way it can be a whole bunch of people saying the same thing. I
think
definitely will.
Yeah, everybody on the same page is a great thing. Yeah, thanks.
All righty. Everybody have a great day.
See you next month.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.